All right, how's it going, everybody? My name is Asbiel, Guildmaster of the Guild of Legends, located in the heart of the multiverse, and we are jumping back into Devil May Cry 5, Mission 8 of the Vergil DLC. From what I could find, I was trying to look it up last time, see just how long this DLC is going to be. It seems to be it goes through 20 missions, just like the main game. So, uh, based on the pacing of kind of the second half of those missions through the main game, I'm going to guess that we're going to get through some of these missions pretty quick, and some are going to be a bit longer. So hopefully we can get through them all tonight, and really just round out this incredible journey. Right now, I got some red orbs saved up because we're looking to get some of the more expensive upgrades. Not really going for any of the upgrades of the alternate weapons. I just want to play with the Yamato the entire time because I think it is the coolest thing around. And I'm sure the other weapons are pretty potent in their usage, and you can probably get some cool combos by using them. But in this game, I've been pretty single weapon focused, regardless of what character I'm playing as. All right, uh, trying to just kind of re-familiarize myself with the controls again. I think I've said this every time, but you know, after a week of not playing it, just got to re-familiarize myself with it because I don't play a ton of these kinds of games. Tragically, there are some that I do play, like Metal Gear Rising and all that stuff, and I do enjoy them, but just doesn't end up being the most common game on my playlist. Though I'm looking to try Bayonetta at some point. I've heard it's a good game, and I kind of got interested in it after playing Metal Gear Rising, because that was kind of my introduction into these types of games, these very high action, high speed, just tearing through enemies kinds of games. I don't remember which part this is. I think this was this stage was a Nero mission, kind of first time getting back uh, into the tree. I think we kind of leave and go back into the tree like a total of like what, three more times or something, or like three times total, not counting the first mission, where you kind of start in it. Uh, sit right to the platform from here. Yeah. And get those red orbs. You know, one thing about this game that I don't like is the way the camera controls. Like, it's a somewhat it's a game that has a fair amount of verticality, but they make the up and down so sluggish. And then okay, I see what's going on here. They make the up and down camera so sluggish, and then like for things like this, I wouldn't have even known that was there. That was a fluke. The only reason I found it is because my attack like auto homed in on it. Which again, if I could more reasonably look up and down, it would be much less of an issue, much more reasonable to have vertically hidden elements of the stage and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the left and right is like full speed camera. The up and down is like half speed, so it's just kind of terrible feeling. What does kind of make up for the few minor missteps is just how cool Vergil is. Like, Dante and Nero, they're pretty cool too, but like, Vergil is something else. I feel like that should have dodged, but alright. Excuse you, I definitely would have dodged that. How dare you? Now, as like Dante and Nero, I didn't dodge everything like I might have hoped I could, but I didn't have this much trouble dodging attacks. I feel like they suggested that his B could be used for dodging, because that's kind of how it is, but when I say B, I mean B on the controller. Jesus, this thing is gonna kill me. This is... What just happened? Where was my transformation? This thing starts destroying me, so I decided I'm going to transform. And then I got the echo, which I meant to do. Sort of. I meant to transform, but I got the echo, and then also seemed to transform, and then it just turned off. So, truly... Cool. And again, just completely failing to actually make that attack land. And I don't understand why. Like, I get that it hit me. If the stipulation of the attack is that I have to have my concentration high, I have to have my gauge high, and I also have to spend 2 or 3 full seconds casting the ability, that's a bit much. I get it's a strong attack, but I mean the whole point of the Vergil DLC seems to be you get to feel cool and obnoxiously powerful. Like, the point isn't making a challenging game at this point, right? It's kind of engaging in that ridiculousness that is Vergil. However, this attack just never hits. This attack can never be pulled off. Why? What am I attacking? There was nothing there. The enemy that I'm locked onto is right here. Attack him. You want to get up so I can actually hit you, maybe? That was a strange encounter. So it clearly goes without saying that. I have some issues with the way that this game works sometimes. As said, still an incredibly enjoyable experience, and I would recommend it to anybody, but... like, the issue at the start of that last fight, I think that was just... I think you could chalk it up to, a bug, almost. Like, the lock-on is never messed up before, as far as I've noticed. But that certainly did. That was not how lock-on is supposed to work. Lock-on is supposed to lock on. And there was nothing locked about attacking through the enemy and then moving past him to continue attacking. That's just incorrect. The... what's it called? The judgment cut, and I feel like maybe my issue with that is, I mean, obviously there's some issues where I've been putting in the command and it just doesn't go. Some of that early on was me not understanding the requirements of, like, needing the concentration and also SDT gauge in addition to doing the key command. I thought it was just the SDT gauge at first. However, there have been numerous times where it just accidentally, like, in a split second, activates. And there have been times where I have been completely unable to make it go, despite its incredibly simple key command. And despite having all the requirements met. And then there was, like, whatever just happened in one of the last few fights where I tried to use it because stuff was going bad. and it looked like he was beginning to do it and then just took too long and got whacked by the enemy, which on top of the gauge and concentration seems like having a vulnerable like 2 seconds to cast it is also a problem. If that's what was happening there. I don't know for sure that that is the case, but it definitely seemed like it was. Alright, so with Yamato and the Mirage Blade, the only weapons I'm using maxed out. The only thing left is going to be these abilities. Enemy Step could be useful. I mean, my mobility isn't really an issue as Vergil, but being able to jump on an enemy could be useful. Making the gauges deplete slower when I do use the transformations could be good. But I don't use transformations too much. So I would honestly be more inclined, I think, to save up for the get more orbs and then just knock those out as like bonuses. And then if I ever somehow got 3 million, which I don't think I'm going to play this enough to get there, then I would get the EX provocation. But this is where we're at. Okay. So that was their usual setup for a boss. I don't remember. Yeah. Fighting a bunch of these guys. Do they all just instantly die from that, like, arena transition? This is a bit strange. Yeah, the dodging as Vergil I don't have the hang of, but I seem to be accidental. Like, that was just me taking hit, but I seem to be using my concentration gauge in some way that I don't understand what I'm doing, because I'm just... I'm not aware of any abilities I have that use it. I'm actually going to check that real quick, because if I'm doing stuff that's using the SDT gauge, that's also going to be problematic because my goal generally would be to get it up to level 2. Oh, um, I was okay. So I was doing parries because that depletes the concentration gauge. Um, all right, all right. I definitely didn't do World of V, because that's pretty clear when that happens. So it must have been the parries, it looks like. Because all the Mirage Blade depletes DT Gauge, Yamato, most seems to be SDT Gauge if I do like Judgment Cut or something, but okay. So I was parrying his moves a handful of times when I was trying to get to that level 2 point, which was making it impossible to actually reach that point and use the Judgment Cut end, which is unfortunate because I just want to use that attack more. It's fucking cool. But it is what it is. There we go. Actually managed to use the ability properly once. So that was nice. It's astonishingly a lot harder to pull off than it seems like it should be, but I mean, it is the big attack, right? So I just feel like it already has enough stipulations that it shouldn't be strangely harder on top of what it already seems like with the gauges and such, but I've already said all that. I'm just going to be repeating myself at this point if I continue rambling on about it. Alright, looks like this is leading up to the stuff. Let's go. I don't have enough to get anything. wonder if there's anything up there that I missed by jumping down. Alright, this is it. This is going to be the big guy. Urizen. Shoot. Oh, come on. Oh, that's rude. Alright, mission complete. We got whooped. Now, I get that it's just because it's the way that the missions go, but the idea that Urizen could be Vergil seems wild to me, because Vergil is, you know, he's Urizen and V combined. He is, you know, all the strengths of both put into one, right? So the fact that you can take half of the person and that entity could be stronger than the whole is wild. But again, it's the way the missions go, and maybe there's going to be some like actual like story going on that's going to explain why Vergil's going through all this reused content, but for now, it's just kind of interesting, seemingly non-canon scenarios. Oh, we're back to bury the light. It's about time. I was missing it. Bury the Light has been on my playlist ever since I first heard it, which was, you know, feels like ages ago at this point. But it's just so good. I think, you know, the tracks for all the main characters. V is the only one I haven't listened to a ton, but Dante, Nero, and Vergil have such good music. Just the ridiculousness of being able to do that is just so cool. That is one of my favorite moves in this whole kit. What's this path? This is the way I was supposed to go, or have I found something? Again, completely on accident, but not gonna complain too much. That was fun. We got this good music going right now, too. It's gonna end in just a second. Yep. Vergil just kills things too fast. It's a shame. It's a shame because his music is so good, and you only get to hear little... No! No! Haha! Saved it. All those red gems. Alright, let's get back to it. Oh, some of you again, huh? Well, let's deal with the underlings first. Shoot, that was a good hit. I didn't think they were close enough to hit me. Nope. Don't want to do that. Just wanted to get the power in the bar. Alright, is that all of these little ones? Oh shoot, fighting two of these guys is something else. Let's get some support in here. Shoot, he broke my concentration. These guys are kind of cool enemies because they're actually tough. Like, they block the attacks instead of just, you know, trying to tank them, and their hits hurt. But yeah, facing two of them at once is tough. It was kind of nice though as well, because while one's charging up to do his attack, and then, you know, I see that coming, I can turn right around and beam over to the other guy to save myself. All right. Looking for all the red orbs I can find without scouring the game too deeply. I don't want to... Oh, couldn't do the down attack. I don't remember. I don't know why. What is the down attack? It's... Yeah, okay. I think it's because I wasn't using the lock-on button. Alright. Yeah, I think because I've already been through all these stages, I'm not too keen on fully, like, playing through them again to try to find all the secrets and stuff, even though I'm Vergil now and a lot of stuff is easier and faster. I just don't care too deeply about finding all the secrets. I just want to kind of get through the game, experience the story, and the fun gameplay. I do really like how they've tied like the kind of um, what's the word for it? Like the way the music kind of shifts and flows while you're playing, you know, based on like your combos and or your style ranking rather. Didn't mean to do that. That's not at all where I would have used that. But you know, trying to dodge around while also doing melee attacks, if you know, I guess it's just bound to happen. Can't really avoid it so far. So I think there was red gems up there that I just missed. Oh well. Red orbs. The name really doesn't matter. I don't know why I corrected myself. 50,000. That should be enough to get something soon. Yeah, I thought there was still another. The ice guy, the crystals or whatever. No. I thought I would have dodged that with the teleporting. Do these big guys attack other demons? Because it looked like when it jumped back, it might have hit the guy with the cleaves. I can't remember the names of any of them. But then also, I was pretty sure there was one of those crystally magic icy looking dudes. And then he just kind of seemed to disappear. I don't know if I somehow accidentally killed him or what, but I suppose all that matters is that he was defeated. The issue with blocking enemies as Dante is that I can't teleport to him either. I imagine it was probably the same with Nero, but I didn't use Nero's zipping around ability all that much anyway, so it was hardly an actual issue I came across. Took me from double S down to B from one hit. That's rough. Yeah, we're what? Almost an hour in, and we finished one mission. I think it's like there's 4 missions that go pretty quickly. And then there's some that I think are not super long, but I think we're kind of in the middle, you know, that like 8 to 12 maybe are kind of like the long missions in the game, if I remember correctly. But I think I should have enough. No, I was saving for 60,000. I don't quite have enough for what I was going for. Let me see if I can find, what, 200? Less than 100. Okay, this should do it. There we go. 60,000. That should give me more orbs. %. Are these 3 really that, like... Or these 4, is that half, really? Oh, I guess it is, yeah. If there's 8 abilities, then that would be it. That's everything I can do there. If I do get 80,000, I can also get these just to have them because they're there. Might as well buy them. I think they're full of. They're part of the basically 100%. I don't think they're just extras or anything. So, all right. I think what I'm gonna have to do, because I'm curious, at some point I'm gonna have to look up was it Beowulf? And see why that specifically is on both Dante and Vergil. This, I assume, is like it's basically something new for him. Like I think maybe as in his like first appearance, he didn't use the Yamato. He used something else because he wasn't Vergil, exactly. He was this isn't the way. He was Nilo Angelo, right? Which I think was like a kind of more generic looking, I mean, compared to Vergil at least, more kind of almost generic looking kind of night demon enemy or something. That right there, like that looked like that should have been activating the attack, but then he just kind of stood there for a minute. And I don't know that there was any explanation as to why he would have just held there without doing anything instead of actually using the ability. No, I'm not even going to bother trying to do it on this guy now. I'm just going to try to finish him off. Mission complete. Okay, I guess I could have tried to use the ability. I thought that was, I thought there might have been another fight after that. I couldn't remember. It's been weeks since I've done that part, so. All right. Mission 10. Is this going back into the tree? Or does it always show the tree in the background there? I don't remember. I haven't been... It's not that I don't remember, it's that I haven't been paying attention to that part. Oh yeah. Back in the tree. So, this is when Dante goes into the tree for the first... Like, this is when you play as Dante, basically for the first time. Like, there was the, like, flashback, and then there was getting the Devil Sword Sparta. And then this is your first mission actually using the Devil Sword, I think. The Devil Sword Sparta. I think they're all Devil Swords. Except for Rebellion. I don't think Rebellion was called Devil Sword. Thinking back it's kind of interesting because I didn't play 1 through 4. I know Nero showed up in 3 or 4. And so in this game, like, so this, why I bring that up is that there's some backstory there that I'm not familiar with. But in this game, they pretty clearly make it known that the only person who seemed to even be remotely aware that Nero was related to Vergil, even though I think players knew, but I don't think any of the characters knew until this game. Maybe one of the last games, because Dante says he wasn't sure until he saw how the Yamato reacted to him. And I don't know if that's... he means, like, when he saw him in this game around the Yamato, or if he's referring to the Yamato becoming his arm prior to this game. Because I don't know how Nero lost his natural arm originally, but at the start of this, he had, like, the demon arm, which, when Vergil took it, just tore his arm off, it turned into the Yamato. So I'm not sure if that's what Dante was referring to or not, with the arm or something that came later. But yeah, interesting that no characters knew besides Dante and Trish seems to have some idea of it as well, although that could be informed by Dante just, like, telling her what his thoughts on the matter were, so... I'm not handling this enemy properly. Need to... wow, stop bouncing on me, I'm trying to get up. No more spinning, please. Not a fan. Alright. Speaking of the older games, I might have mentioned it earlier, but I am kind of hoping to get a chance to actually go through all the older Devil May Cry games, probably including the reboot that so many people didn't like. Because for me personally, that was my introduction to Devil May Cry as a series. I really didn't mean to do that attack. That happens by accident so easily. But I would like to go through all the older games and then also the reboot, because gameplay-wise, the reboot felt good. And I was talking in there was a bit of a discussion about the reboot and about Devil May Cry kind of in general in a chat that I was in recently, and someone had said this thing that I'm this concept that I'm not a huge fan of, which is it was a good game but a bad Devil May Cry game, which honestly I feel like it's either a good game or it's not. The series that it's a part of should be irrelevant. People have said same stuff about like Metroid Other M, which also a game I enjoyed. And I'm sure many others that I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but like the idea of the reboot especially, right? It's the opportunity for the game to do different things with the story. Whether those things are handled well or not is up for debate, but the important thing is if you go into a reboot with the idea that things changing is bad, then you're already doing it wrong. And a lot of the complaints I've seen have been they changed Dante. They made Dante bad. You know, like Dante wasn't as cool as he used to be. It's like, well, it's a reboot. That Dante is not the Dante you knew. So of course it's not going to be the same. It's a reboot for that reason. So I would have to actually like get into the game and see like what the how well handled, I suppose, the story is. But if someone can say it's a good game, it's just not a good Devil May Cry game, then what that says to me is that the story is probably fine, right? If you could say it's good, then there's should be no significant issue there, right? So if it is in fact a good game and the story is good, then the only arguments are that the character, the lore has been changed, and that's in my eyes not a valid argument since it's a reboot. That stuff is specifically intended to not be the same. But maybe we'll see, because I am interested in trying it out. I thought it was fun when I played the demo of it. Visually, it seems really cool with how they handle like there's from what I remember there was some like almost Doctor Strange type stuff, and there was also mentioned in the chat that I was talking about where I was kind of talking about this stuff with some other people, but yeah, like that kind of visuals of like the world just kind of changing around you while you're in it and moving around it and navigating and everything, that's cool. I like that. I think that's really cool. So I'll be eager to check it out again when the time comes. I don't know if I would start with the reboot or if I would go through the first 4 games of the main series first. I do feel like the reboot would be better served as a later option because then I do just have the option of no, I don't want to deal with you guys. I want to deal with this guy. Excuse me. My mistake. Wow, I keep changing to the knights. I don't want to fight them. I want to fight the wheel. Yeah. I feel like it would be better suited to tackle the reboot last because that will give me the best opportunity to have this game story freshest in my mind for playing through 1 through 4. So I think that's the way I would do it. I would just get the the HD collection or whatever, play through that, and then hit up the reboot afterwards. Trying to coherently speak while in fights with those kind of tougher enemies is difficult. And I already ramble as it is, so it kind of just compounds into even worse rambling. What hit me? Oh, did he take out the others? It... Okay, so that activation of it was a bit rough. I don't understand why sometimes it is hard to pull off the maneuver and other times it's super easy. But, and by super easy, I mean, like, to the point where I can do it by accident. Oh, I didn't realize what this was when I was here before. Because I actually came across this in in the main game, and I didn't realize what the glowing marker was. Okay. What did I do wrong? I should probably read the objective. Aim for the weak point and take them down with a single bullet. Aim for the weak point. How do I aim? I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, you know what? I don't know. Nope, let me quit. I don't know what I'm aiming for here. I would assume the face is the weak point, but when I was just whacking them and they were blocking it, it did nothing, and then presumably when a hit actually landed, it just got angry and told me I failed. So, I don't think I care enough to bother with learning how to do that. Maybe that's my issue with the game is not learning the enemy's weak points. Like, is that a thing? If the enemies have weak points, I have not been informed. It is not something I was told about that I'm aware of. Where is up? Where is continue? Where is go? Ah, there. Alright, I get it. It's fancy. Look at all that. Great world design. But, come on. Let me play. I could go for those other orbs, but I don't care enough to go get them. I think they would be kind of a negligible amount, basically, so... Wow, I lost it that quick? Jesus. I didn't get hit or anything, but trying to reposition so I could actually do the attack, and I just lost all my concentration. Like, I get that they have to do something to make Vergil feel unique, but I feel like, I don't know, the concentration is rough. Is, like, the goal of the game to just never get hit? Are you supposed to be so perfect that you just take no hits? I'm never going to be that good at a game. That's not fun for me. I don't want to have to master the game to that degree. That's just excessive. Wow, alright. Mission complete. And was this the point where Urizen This is when Dante comes in. He actually breaches the defenses for the first time properly. Uh, shoot, I don't remember. Is that when Yurzin like takes off and goes down? Uh, down or yeah, because I think the whole time you're trying to go up to where he's at, and then is it you actually go down to get where the fruit is? Is that what they were saying? I don't remember. But I think this is going back to V before they all reunited in the tree. I think Dante showed up to help Nier out in the tree. V shows up afterwards, I think. What's important is I think this is V going to get to the point basically where he realizes that he needs to rejoin with Urizen. Maybe that was his goal from the beginning. I'm not sure. I don't really go into it, but this is the last part he does before they set off to actually encounter Urizen with the fruit. If his goal was to reunite with Urizen from the beginning, though, it seemed weird that he would hire Dante and Nero to challenge them, unless his goal was that they would not make it anyway, or maybe the idea is that they would get defeated on the way, you know, before he actually gets the fruit, to stop them from being an issue in the future, possibly. Which ultimately wouldn't have worked out if that was the goal, because Dante got Sparta and got stronger for it. Strong enough to defeat Urizen and ultimately put up a fight against Vergil when they did reunite. I do remember this part, just collapsing buildings. Which, I mean, they were already pretty collapsed, but certainly making the situation worse, it would seem. Did I? Really? Come on, dude. It's not even remotely the enemy that I would have used that on. Like, that enemy is nothing. It's barely an enemy. Interesting that it specifically chose that one instead of the one I was actually trying to hit, which was closer to me. I would wager by the end of this mission I should have enough points to get the next health upgrade, which more health never hurts. I don't know that it'll be crucial. Obviously, by the time I get to fighting full-powered Urizen, it'll be super nice to have, but... Oh, it got me. Yep, that right there is the most ridiculous thing. Like, that shouldn't be a thing that can happen. Completely losing out on doing the ability just because it takes so long to start. Like, the whole idea of Vergil is that he's the fast character. So, having his super special super move be so slow that he can't do it because an enemy can hit him faster than he can do it is ridiculous. Like, when he does the attack, he basically, like, relatively to him at least, stops time. Like, everything else is at such a snail's pace compared to him because he is that fast. That's his whole thing. And it just ruins the kind of fantasy of that move. That it can be bested so easily by someone just being normal speed, right? Hopefully the big guy gets hit in that as well, because that would be... Yeah, okay. That voice line right there is a good sign of his whole skill set. He straight up tells someone that they're too slow, but clearly nobody is too slow because they can just give him a little tap, and that little tap is just enough to ruin his concentration and make it impossible to pull off his greatest move, his strongest ability, short of like the Sin Devil Trigger, which you might argue is also one of his strongest abilities, if not the strongest. Point being, too easy for enemies to counter the move that's supposed to feel really cool, right? Especially when half the time, like anytime I do it by accident, it seems to be like an instantaneous thing, just about. So, biggest gripe about the game has to do with that one single ability. Everything is centered on that ability as far as rough points in the game. Otherwise, the game is fantastic. Like, I've had no issue with it besides that one point. That inconsistency. Alright, and this is where you get Trish back, right? Because she's in the knight enemy. Yeah, Cavalier Angelo. There we go. Oh, That was an issue with just not being able to start the ability fast enough. That was not the fact that the enemy actually hit me while it was doing it, at least. Yeah, I think... Again, I haven't played the... I think it was in the first game where he was Nilo Angelo. But I think he was kind of like one of these guys where he's just like some big humanoid demon dude with a sword. And I think that's kind of where the Mirage Blade comes from. Mirage... which one? The actual main hand weapon, not the ranged weapon, is what I'm talking about. I think it's based on when he was in that form. That would be my guess, at least. It's not really rooted in any kind of understanding or anything of the story. Let's go ahead and get that one, because that'll make it when I use the SDT or the Doppelganger, make it last longer. So that'll be nice to have. All right, we're hour and a half in on mission 12. This one, I think, might be a little slightly longer. Like, maybe about the same as that last one, which wasn't super long. But then the next, like, 3 or 4 go super quickly, from what I remember. And then it's basically the end of the game at that point. So we'll have to see. Maybe there will be another stream of this. I'm not sure if I will completely finish it out tonight. We're gonna have to just see how it goes. That guy sure died quick. Guess they do that when you get on them immediately. That is a super fun move. I like it. It's so cool. I've already said that, but it's just too good. Vergil is just the best character. Okay, yeah, this was a Dante mission. So I remember going through this part as Dante, but that last bit I couldn't remember. Oh. So that's supposed to be Sparta with the rebellion. I didn't catch that part before where it said that the statue is made to resemble Sparta. That's cool. Okay, I don't think there's anything else this way. This needs to go through one of these paths. Stop jumping.
Finally.
Yeah, I think it was just about to start doing it and then got whacked, which is kind of ridiculous, but also I didn't want to use it anyway. Let me out! Those cages are kind of annoying when you get stuck in them. I don't remember what the objective here was. I think, what, this was Dante. This guy's just kind of an annoying enemy. I remember when I fought him as Dante, he died super quickly. And was just kind of a surprisingly nothing enemy. I think you encounter one later on, though, as well. Why? Why wouldn't it work? Absolutely no reason that ability shouldn't have triggered there. Met all the requirements, did the key press, and it just failed to go. And there it happened by accident. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's such a problem. A problem that should not be, and I don't understand why it is, because it is legitimately an issue of the attack not triggering when it should. All the requirements are met, and there's nothing stopping it from triggering. However, it just decides it's not going to go. Triggering on accident, that's on me, right? That's me hitting the buttons. But the fact that it doesn't trigger when it should, that's on the game. There it is. Now, okay, so the way the Clifoth works is that it takes blood from all the people that it kills, basically, right? First of all, it's a lot of blood. Like, this tree has just slaughtered probably thousands of people. If not, like, tens or more thousands of people. Point is, how was this fountain meant to be activated without this stupid amount of blood? Like, more than a person's worth of blood per quarter of the fountain. What was Sparta and his people doing? Because legitimately, like each quarter of the only reason that I'm able to fill these quarters so quickly is because this tree has been storing a lot of blood from the entire city's worth of people, right? And clearly, these fountains were meant to have this kind of stupid amount of blood running through them, right? But what the hell, man? That's fucked up. But also, like, if you're with Sparta and everything, right, and it's like, I gotta go to the place, I gotta go through the fountain. Time to sacrifice, I don't know, 2, 3 dozen people, at least. Someone's got to hold these demons accountable, is all I'm saying. Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, because I went through here, did the thing, somewhere this way. Aha! All I'm saying is, at this point, Urizen isn't the only one who's fucked up. Like, goddamn. Where does the hatchling go when it consumes the blood or whatever that's in that tree bit? Ah! Fucking fell on me from the ceiling! You were literally just whacking the air, dude. Come on. Whoops. Oh, I guess these guys got it. They get that excessive abuse of power. Accidental abuse of power, I should say. At which point, it's not really an abuse of power, it's just... It is still excessive, but... You can't really put the blame there if it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It shouldn't have been possible to happen. Well, should have been possible. Again, on the accidental activations, I am the one hitting the buttons, but still. Point is... What is the point? I don't know. There is no point. Whoever said there was a point. They lied. Oh. Whoops, I was holding the target button, and so... I think at least activating it saves it, probably. Stay in the air for 115 seconds. I can try to do that. I mean, how hard could it be? No, I wanted to target a different guy. Why not target the other guys? This one I think I should actually be able to beat easily. Are you kidding me? Why did I attack? No! Target the others! Also, the fact that the normal combo just whacks him into the ground is kind of annoying. How do I avoid that? You know what? I guess maybe this is the way. It's really not hard with with Vergil. It's probably a bit harder if you're playing as Dante. I don't know why I didn't think of just mashing the teleport button. Probably because I'm dumb. Alright. Back to the actual mission at hand. Just took that detour because I figured I would activate it so that, you know, if I ever do come back to the game later on to try to get, like, more completion and stuff like that, then I'll have those missions already unlocked. Hopefully, if I'm understanding. Or, like, I shouldn't have to beat it to be able to access it later on. I should just have to activate it. You know, basically find the unlockable, which I've done. Do I have enough for anything? I don't think I do. I think I need like 50,000 for the last one. Last one, not counting the EX provocation, because that's just a stupid amount of points. But I mean, if you've done everything else, then I guess fair game there. Yeah, so I need less than 5,000 more for that, so I'm just gonna hold off so I can get that enemy jump ability, and then maybe afterwards, with whatever points I have left over, upgrade the final abilities. Was that it? Was there an... Or do I go back and fight Urizen again? I don't remember. Oh, okay, yep. Good thing I just got another golden orb. Mission complete. Alright, so yeah, that is Urizen then fleeing down to where the fruit is, and the trio goes to chase him. I wonder if it's going to make me go through... Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go through all of their missions. Presumably including the first one with Dante. Or, well, the first one where you choose. Which still doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand where that fits into, like, the whole thing. But hardly matters in the long run. Okay, so I think yeah, I get it now. So the Mirage Edge plays like Dante, doesn't it? Because these are all probably the same attacks that Dante had. Because I remember Dante had this move, which is basically the same move that he does with the Rapid Slash. No. Uh, is it this one? Or is it just a combo? This was it. Yeah. Okay, it's just one of his combos. It's not the actual. Well, the name makes sense if it was Rapid Slash, because it is a very rapid slashing move. But regardless, we're gonna continue on. So the next few missions should go by pretty quickly, and then pretty quickly, I mean like all four of them together, probably about the same length as like one of the longer missions. So each one individually is pretty short. Yeah, this one I still don't understand where this fits into any of it. Is this like no, because any of the three can do this mission, so that suggests that it has to be after they reunited. But it's unclear as to where it fits into the actual timeline of events. Yeah, if I've got the yeah, pressing the advantage on these Angelo dudes always makes sense if they're not the ones that are being infinitely summoned. Because they're probably the most threatening enemy of the bunch. That was in this mission, at least. I'll just summon the Echo to try to finish this guy off real quick. see, was there anything else I can get? Well, I guess if I'm getting this stuff, then a lot of it is a lot cheaper anyway. So, question, right? I truly want to understand how to just nail that attack every time when it should be working. Yep, that was complete nonsense. Instead of doing the attack, he just stood there, doing nothing. Doing nothing except for taking a hit that shouldn't have happened in the first place, because the attack should have gone through before it could have happened. Absolute nonsense. There, see? Why don't they all work like that? There, I trigger the attack, and it just worked. It worked like it was supposed to. Truly, there is nothing I can say about the way that that attack works other than it's absolute nonsense that it is so hit or miss. If I have hard requirements and a key press that is part of those requirements, there should be no question whether or not the attack will trigger when I do the key commands after having met the requirements. And yet, almost every time, almost without fail, what am I trying to say? What is this? Is this thing some remnant of that mushroom's attack? There is, like, what, 50% or less consistency with it, right? Like, I'll go to do the attack, and it just won't work. I'll go to do the attack sometimes, and it does work, but that is definitely the minority of the times I try to trigger it. And then on top of that, there's the times where I accidentally trigger it, and it happens instantly. Or when I purposely trigger it, and it happens instantly. Compared to the times I trigger it, and it takes like 2 full seconds for it to actually do the attack. Which, as you've seen, more often than not, leads to me taking a hit, completely canceling the attack anyway. Everything that went into it, just about, at least, is expended, and the attack is lost. And it's just ruins the experience of trying to do this cool thing. I feel like Mission 13 is kind of just thrown in as like a bonus, because they don't really explain it. It doesn't fit anywhere. And you can do it with any of the 3 characters. It's like they wanted to have a mission where you can play as any of them, but it doesn't actually fit into what they do, because it immediately follows with each of them going on their own mission anyway. So it's not like Mission 13 bypasses one of the other paths like you kind of can do earlier on when you get a chance to play as Nero or V, and you get to choose which one you take through that mission, and they have a slightly different course because they play differently. That's interesting. V doesn't have an ability that lets him do that. So the mission must have been altered to add those to kind of let you zip through it just super quickly, right? Because otherwise it's just like a long walk through a tunnel, I guess. No, this is the part where V gets to fight 3 major bosses. Though, when you play it as V, he's limited by which summons he has, depending on which order you do them in. So it ends up being like a kind of a challenge for V because he's not at his full power. See, like there, it took a long time to actually trigger that it shouldn't have taken, it feels like. Because there's definitely times where I've done it and it's just been instantaneous. But there doesn't seem to be any explanation to it either. So each of these bosses must be weaker than they normally are. To make this go slightly quicker and also to make up for the fact that you're playing as a weakened character in the main story when you do this. Oh, was this, what is his name? Goliath? Let's go, big guy. What if I just go Sin Devil Trigger and tear him up? Yeah, so this one is kind of a cool mission because it is just like a boss rush. And in these games, I do like boss rush type modes. That's one thing I wish Metal Gear Rising had was a boss rush, but I don't think they do. I don't think it does. If I recall, I would always just load into the mission closest to where one of the bosses actually is, so I could just fight him whenever I wanted to. Alright, let's go. I don't remember if there's another fight in this mission. Nope, I have to go the other way first. Now, I kind of get that it's nice to see what's happening when you do these, but especially in this mode where it's already skipping cutscenes and stuff, it would be nice if some of this stuff would be skipped as well, so I could just keep moving. Yeah, that's the, I don't remember what they're called, but the things that let you jump around like that, that they've thrown into this mission are interesting, because I don't think they've had that in any of the other missions so far. But that is a benefit that V, the character who you play as in that mission in the main game, could not do. That's an ability that only Vergil and Nero can do because of their particular playstyles. So that leaves just one ability for the Mirage Edge, it looks like. And a few left for Beowulf. And after all that, then the only one left would be the EX Provocation, which is just a big money sink, so not too worried about that one. Yeah, so the next two missions are about as quick as that one, and that one is pretty quick compared to some of the earlier missions. So let's go. Yeah, I remember not liking this one just because I was failing really miserably at avoiding all the spike traps when I played through it initially. But maybe this time I can be better. Nope, that's not what I was trying to do. Whoops. Didn't see that it was right there. That was uncalled for. You know, I bet I could have just teleported to this thing and just bypassed those spikes just now, because I can target this and I can warp to it. Oh shoot, do these things have a time limit? Really? That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. You know, I just had a thought, possibly remembered something about that move. I gotta see if there's been another thing that I've been completely forgetting about this move. Okay, so it only talks about SDT gauge and concentration. So what I was thinking is that it might have been tied into your style rank as well, which would have explained everything. But it doesn't appear to be, unless it's just a hidden thing. And if it's not, then it's just... I don't want to say it's poorly designed. I don't want to make that kind of a claim, but it kind of seems that way with what I'm able to see about the way that it works. It just seems like it's not working how it should. And if there is no explanation to it regarding the other gameplay mechanics, then there just is no explanation. And if it can't be explained, that's a problem. That's not good. Never had one of these guys freeze me before. That appears to go down. Looks like this also goes down. No, we're going down. This should be a bunch of the bugs. Use the attack, please. Alright, I don't get the attack. Cool. That right there. All the requirements were met, but it didn't trigger. Again, just... the more it goes on, the more willing I am to say it's just badly designed. Because, I don't know. Maybe there's other people who can pull it off 100% of the time. Guaranteed, no issues. But, that's not the experience I'm having. And there it should have been. That was it. It was triggering, but it took too long. Because it didn't trigger at the beginning when it should have triggered. And so this guy had enough opportunity, enough time to actually hit me. Don't know why I couldn't trigger it there. Again, hit all the requirements, but it just wouldn't go. Instead, it was trying to individually do either the target B or target Y attacks. And it makes no sense why it would be focusing one of those over the attack that is both inputs, considering they were both being used. And the fact that I have been able to trigger it on this controller suggests that it's not an issue with the controller's limitations or anything. So, again, just there is no explanation to it, which is not a good look for the design of the game, right? So, unfortunate. Unfortunate because there's so much good about the game, and this is a minor issue, really, but it's a consistent issue. It's consistent in how inconsistent the attack is, which sounds stupid and confusing to say, but that is the situation we're dealing with. And there was an accidental trigger that happened pretty quickly, pretty immediately. Which would be cool if it triggered that quickly, that immediately, when I intend to use it. But it's specifically only triggering when I don't intend to use it. Not only, bad wording on my part, but so many of the times that it does trigger are unintentional. And I can kind of wave those off because I am hitting the buttons, right? Obviously. Because that's the only way you trigger the ability is by hitting the buttons. So, partially on me, because of my slightly button mashy style. Not exactly button mashing. I am trying to use both of these buttons, though, that are used in the attack. And it's reading those inputs simultaneously when it shouldn't be. No, it's not when it shouldn't be. It's I'm probably hitting the buttons simultaneously, and that's, again, on me. But no, come on. I just got the thing. I was going to do the attack. I was going to try the attack, I should say. I can't confidently say I'm going to do it because I can't consistently do the inputs, apparently. You know, dismal does make sense for how this is going. This is pretty dismal, I would say. Largely because just when things were going well for me, it ended up going wrong. Come on! Don't know how that didn't dodge. That's... I don't like fighting this enemy. That's what I'm getting out of this fight. Is that I just don't like fighting this enemy. The Knights? Sure, I'll fight those guys all the time. The Angelo guys? Those are great. They're a fun, tough enemy. This guy... He's just kind of annoying, because he blocks, and he teleports, and he attacks from across the field. It's like if you took the Angelo Knight and made it... He is harder than the Angelo Knights, because he does what they do, and then some. And I would say does it to excess. Guards less than the Angelo Knights do, weirdly, because he only seems to guard ranged attacks, it seemed like. My melee attacks were going through just fine, but I don't know. I'm also slightly salty just because I had the DT gauge. I had the concentration gauge. I did the button press, and the attack just didn't care. So... And there's one of those ones where it actually surprisingly works. Like, seemingly without explanation as to why the other ones don't work, but... What's important is that it did work. And it felt good doing it, right? It made me have more fun by being able to do this super move when I wanted to do it. Not that I should be able to do it whenever I want to do it, but being able to do it when I want, when I meet the conditions, that should be a given. Unfortunately, that's not how the game wants to play, and that's a problem. I feel like I'm complaining a lot about the game over the last half hour, but it's just, it's being problematic in ways that it shouldn't be. And, you know, when I was playing the single player components, or the main story components of this game, I was taking in the story, so I didn't really have time to give my thoughts on the game too much. But now I'm done with the main story. I'm going through a bunch of old content as a new character, so there's not really a story to pick up on. So it really is just time to kind of reflect on the game as a whole. And really, the only issues I've had with the game as a whole has been this DLC. It's maybe they're just, it feels like there's some inherent problems with the way that Vergil plays, right? Okay, so one thing I just got out of that is that the key presses are relative to the character, it seems. So if he's facing this way, I'm not going to be pressing down to try to do the key press, because down on the controller is closer to forward relative to him as opposed to back relative to him, that's in a fighting game mirroring the like a 2D side scroller fighting game, mirroring the key commands, the button inputs based on the direction your character is facing, kind of makes sense, right? If you're gonna do, a block by holding back, you're instinctually gonna go back relative to the character, so it makes sense. In a game like this, in a 3D space where the character can face any direction at any point and it can change rapidly, in a fighting game, it's a lot harder to switch those directions around, right? Most cases, at least. Some fighting games might let you turn away from your opponent, but that's not usually the case. So you have a pretty firm control over which direction you're facing in those kinds of games. So mirroring the button inputs is not an issue there. Talked about these guys a bunch lately, relative to that scythe guy, whose name I forget. Again, accidental input. Didn't mean to do it, wasn't expecting it, but it happened. It shouldn't be that easy to do an accidental input on something that I can't consistently do purposefully. That's the main issue here, right? It's clearly not a hard thing for the game to pick up on when it should happen, because it can happen accidentally so easily. However, it does happen accidentally, right? And so those purposeful inputs should be so much easier. But the game just doesn't catch them, right? It doesn't accept the inputs that are being given, it seems like. It's giving me a lot of orbs and stuff, but I just don't care. I kind of want to just get through this mission, because the goal is, right, like, I want to finish it. But I want to finish it, I want to fight the bosses. Bosses in this game have been a lot of fun. But you kind of need everything else to kind of fill out the experience as well, right? It would be kind of boring if the game was just the bosses. One thing that felt really cool just there was me and the Echo doing the combo together. Just seeing this thing getting obliterated by a billion attacks was really neat. Now, I could do with some health replenishment, because I am a bit low at the moment. Oh. So, one part about this section of the game is that there are opportunities to refill your health, but I was just missing them just now, because I dropped down the wrong direction. Another accidental input. Completely wasted because that enemy was already almost dead. And that time, I don't even know why I would have accidentally been on the B button at all, considering I was just trying to mash the dude, right? I wasn't trying to, do any of the dodging or anything, so I don't fully understand why. I missed whatever that was. I don't understand why it, shoot, that was a blue orb. What am I trying to say? I don't understand why it, What don't I understand? What did I miss? What did I say that I've missed?
You shall die.
There we go. Took me several tries that it shouldn't have taken, but I got the attack in. I think one issue I've been having with fights just over the last, several encounters is that I've been a little bit distracted in my thoughts, and I've been using the B button instead of the X button to do the Mirage Blades, which has been making me miss out on the benefits of the Mirage Blade. It's also reasonably partially responsible for a lot of the accidental inputs of that, because I would have been hitting the B button a lot, which I was aware of, but it's still an issue because that's not the only problem, is accidentally triggering it. Accidentally triggering is fine because I have been hitting those buttons. So talking about the good sides of this game, it's a lot easier to talk about the good sides when it plays the music I want it to play, but unfortunately, like half of the campaign, it just doesn't even give me the main character's music anymore. Basically, anytime you're in the tree, you don't get your character music. You get, I don't know, whatever the tree's music is, I guess. And then certain bosses, I think, have their own music as well, which is just a shame, because I wonder if Hell on Earth is a special move for him. Did Mirage Edge also have a... Yeah, so they must be, like, similar playing styles to what Dante gets with Beowulf and with his whichever of his main swords he's using, but then they add in these concentration based attacks as well. It seems like that Dante certainly wouldn't have, because he doesn't have concentration. If Dante could do these attacks easier, it would just feel unfortunate for Vergil. So these are all gone. I don't ever have to worry about those again. Alright, King Cerberus. I forgot that this was the boss here. I don't want to feel your thunder. I want to do my special move, but I can't because the game doesn't like me. Wow, that was an accidental input, but I'm glad I got through for that neat little just bonus bit of damage there. Because I certainly would have liked to do it. I just didn't intend to at that moment. He might actually take me down here. Ah, but he didn't. That was a close one, but I succeeded. Alright, hopefully we've got all our complaints about the attack. The judgment cut judgment cut end behind us. I will try stop talking so much about it because I think I have run that topic into the ground. But let's do just a little bit more leveling up before we go on to face what comes next. That is everything on Vergil except for the 3 million EX provocation. So let's go. We might run this one just a little bit longer, depending on how long these final few missions take. This one is, you know, it's a boss fight mission, so... Now, when I played this one as Dante, I did have to do a couple revives, so we're gonna see how it goes. All the fights have been easier as Vergil, but we're gonna see if I can survive a little bit better than Dante. I don't expect it to be a complete walk in the park. Did I block that or something? What happened? Oh, I think I dodged some of those while in, like, frozen time. Okay, yeah. Dodging them all is a bit difficult, but... not impossible. This is the end. For you. Wow. Being able to use his teleport ability really makes a lot of things kind of trivial when they do like area effects and then teleport away from it. Because then you can just zip over to him, and Vergil doesn't seem to have a limit. Like I with the Angelo boss, that was a really good example where I was able to teleport across the entire stage, you know, practically from one end to the other, at the very least from the halfway point or so, all the way to the ends, to chase him down immediately. Astonishing. I was about to go to customize, and I remembered there is nothing left until I get 10 times what I have now. Was it 10 times? Yeah, I think so. Throw another 0 on there. That's the point. Because then I can get that EX provocation, which...
You think you stand a chance? You think you stand a chance?
Interesting. I haven't been using that at all because, I don't know, it helps your style rank, I think, but, you know, other than that, what's the point, right? So I think this was a Dante mission. Dante going to chase after Vergil. Yeah, fighting the pets. Buddy, what do you think you're even doing? Was this an extra path? Is that why some enemies got summoned? Or is this somewhere I actually have to go? I don't remember. Oh, it looks like it actually is important. Probably. Oh, change that arena. That's interesting. So yeah, we're definitely going to go over the 3 hours here. Just because we're so close to the end now, I just want to finish it out. I don't want to do another stream just to do, you know, a half hour of gameplay or something. I think because I used my doppelganger on that one, it went a lot quicker than it would have normally. Neat. Managed to take out all three before they could escape. And looks like I got a cluster of extra red orbs for it. In addition to what I got from them, probably. I always do like taking enemies down with that one. I don't know why. I didn't even realize you were here. No, come on. The fact that he doesn't have a double jump, he just has, like, he has this, which is good, but it only gets him up. Doesn't get him forward at all. Right. The sprint in this game is kind of annoying at times, but it would also feel terribly slow to not have it, so... Oh, hold on. There's nothing to customize. I already have everything. Look at that. That's just nice to look at. It is kind of cool that even without going super out of your way, they have given me all of the abilities except for EX Provocation through playing the story. Through playing just the normal missions. I've done some of the side missions, but those just really give the the gold orbs. So now let me see. Does this damage their total health bar? Doesn't. So let me go after Nightmare instead. Let me target the big guy. I don't care about the cat. These guys are a weird boss fight because, I mean, I guess the boss in this fight is Nightmare, but taking out the other ones was important at the beginning, it seemed like, because he didn't come back until I destroyed both of them. Unless that was just incredibly conveniently timed, or just like like a second method for him to summon in after defeating him. Yeah, after defeating him the first time, maybe he's on a timer, unless you take out the other two first. And in that case, you don't have to wait out the timer because... Oh shit! Fighting Dante. I figured... maybe I heard somewhere, I don't remember, but like had the sense that this was how they handled this fight instead of having you fight yourself or something, because that would just be ridiculous. But this is cool, getting to be on the other side of it. Yeah, so just like when I fought Vergil, I'm guessing I'm probably gonna have to use a couple of revive gems, the gold orbs. Gee, I think what's going right is that him using his like fighting style abilities, like the trickster stuff and all of that. Shoot, yeah, he took me down. Which I'm not surprised about. This is the final boss. Alright, so doing Judgment Cut didn't work, so we're going Sin Devil Trigger instead. And surely he'll use his as well. Because that's what Vergil did when I fought him as Dante. I think I heard him yell out Trickster. That's cool. Oh, he got me with the Cavalier. He's probably going to make me use a second one, isn't he? Oh, right there. Yeah. God, that's so annoying. I wanted to be able to... Oh, I didn't even have the SDT gauge for it. There we go. No, that's not even a Sin Devil Trigger. That's just the normal. Man, he is tough when he does that, too. Royal Guard. Oh. Get out of here with that hat. What was that? What was he doing there? Just like taking all those hits with the hat. Like, I don't remember that being an ability. Can't beat the cowboy hat. You might be edgy, but you're not a cowboy. Hey, Crumb, how's it going? Yeah, what threw me off about what he was doing with the cowboy hat there is that he did a move that I don't remember ever being a thing, where apparently you just strike a pose and you can take 5 billion hits and not even care, and then make the world explode. I don't remember being able to do that ability. But how's it going, Crumb? Good to see you, buddy. I think we're just about finished here. There's just There should be one more mission after this. Or one more fight, at least. This is the first cutscene that they've done since the beginning.
It's my son. Yeah, dumbass. You can't remember through that thick skull of yours?
Well, well. That was a long time ago.
I guess you were young once too. As much as I'd love to hear that story, I think it's about time we
Ended this. All things end.
Alright, calm down, buddy. What's happening? This music is so good. I'm so glad that, it's playing this music. Now hold on, buddy. I can't do that yet. Ah! You got me.
Come here! Come here!
Now you
Don't you royal guard me, buddy. Wow! Stop it! Stop it with the nunchucks! God, this music is so good. Listen, I can't do my Sin Devil trigger, buddy, because I just used my special move on you. So chill out for a second while I get my Sin Devil trigger gauge up, alright? Oh, what did he do? He fully, like, stunned me there. He's gonna make me use another gold orb. The problem I had with the with using the King Cerberus weapon when I was playing as Dante is that wow, how rude. Is that I couldn't remember how to switch it into the other stances. So he just cheated. That's, you know, I guess that's just the way it goes, huh? Wow. Really? Chopping into me there. Don't explode me with your black hole! I don't think I ever unlocked that ability as Dante, but I remember seeing it in the list. Yeah, I didn't really use the stances. I just would go to Swordmaster and use that.
Adios.
Hold on. That's not how it went.
I won't lose next time.
Oh, okay. They skipped to the very end of that cutscene and just cut out the whole part where Nero showed up in that fight.
Wow, this thing got real.
They really did skip it.
Trying to compensate for something?
Yes. Your incompetence.
Like that second fight would have been against Nero.
How'd it feel catching up with your kid?
There's no need for us to catch up.
Well, with an attitude like that, you're never gonna meet your grandkids.
That's enough. I don't want to hear it. Now, don't get in my way.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's it. Time to die! You're like an open book. I can read your every move. Too easy. Score for Dante. I'm up 1.
When did you learn to count? We're even.
Come on. You know I was always better than a big sword.
I do like that they give you the credits and something to do. It starts with Nero, and then I think it jumps to these guys, and you play as Dante. I think. Or maybe it starts with Dante and then goes to Nero. I don't remember for sure. I think it does start with Nero, though.
Don't you dare say it.
Jackpot.
Why you gotta leave me hanging?
We used to love saying that.
I have no recollection.
Well, let me jog your memory. A little Vergil. Crying in the corner. Because Mommy got mad.
I seem to recall you crying every time Father raised his voice.
How would they feel if they saw us now?
What does it matter? We're still here, aren't we?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The cutscenes in this game are all super good. Especially the interactions between Vergil and Dante, as few as they are because of how long it takes for Vergil to actually show up in the game. It is good stuff. And the character designs in this game are all like fucking top tier.
Devil May Cry.
All right, well, yeah, that's it for Devil May Cry 5. Uh, as much as I went on like a 45-minute rant about the Judgment Cut Zero being so inconsistent in its usage and hard to actually use reasonably, um, incredible game, incredible DLC, lets you play throughout the entire, every stage in the game as the best character in the game, so that's awesome. The only thing that would make this DLC better is if the Judgment Cut Zero wasn't so janky to use. Like, even when you meet all the requirements to use it and do the button input the way you should, it still doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes it has a long run up that you can get hit and just completely miss out on it entirely. And sometimes it goes instantly. So it's really inconsistent and just unfun to use, except for when it does work, in which case it feels really good. But again, ranting, already said all of that. That's it for Devil May Cry 5. Probably gonna hold off a bit before I get into playing the other ones. Would like to have some Vergil side story too. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for when I went into the DLC. Like, I don't know if Devil May Cry 4 explains the state that Vergil is in, or if maybe that's just the situation after. Again, I don't know the story of Devil May Cry 4, but maybe what I've heard is that 4 is kind of the one with the biggest tie into 5. So maybe Vergil gets beat down at the end of 4. I don't know, and that's why he's all fallen apart at the beginning of this game. But if that's not the case, then they just fully didn't explain why he's in that state. But that is part of why I want to play through the first 4 games, just to get the full experience, the full understanding of what's going on, because there is clearly several callbacks throughout this game to the previous story. It's in 1. Okay. I was saying during games are not chronological. That's okay. That's good to know. I think I want to play all 4 of the previous titles as well as the reboot because there's a whole earlier segment where I talked about my thoughts on the reboot, having only played the demo of it, but also talked about it with some people previously. I do still want to play it. I'm probably going to play it after I play through 1 through 4, just because I want my memory of 5 to be as fresh as possible when I play through 1 through 4. So I don't want to fit the reboot in there when it's completely disconnected. But 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. That's an incredible game order. At least they got some of the numbers in the right order. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You think I should do that? I might do that. It will feel worse every time because it's going to be going older and older. And I know going to 1, I've played a little bit of 1, and it's got that like Resident Evil camera, that static cameras and stuff like that, at least in some points. So that's going to be something to get used to when I eventually get there. But I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to see about picking up the previous games soon. But there will probably be a little bit of time before that. In the meantime, as far as this week goes, Thursday I'm doing Hunt Showdown with Dragon Durant as usual at 8 p.m. CST, CDT. And then that's about it for this week. We have moved our Friday plans of streaming the first part of the 2-part Elysian Twilight one-off kind of tier 1 intro to the Elysian Twilight setting. Push that back to next Friday. So that'll be on the 19th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then next week we'll be doing more of the same as usual, except we're not going to be doing Devil May Cry 5 for obvious reasons. We've played through the whole thing. I'm not going to 100% this game. I don't care about doing all that. But I've gotten the experience I was looking to get out of it. So those of you who've been in the chat, those of you who are checking out the VOD, everyone who's been following along with us, thank you guys for coming. Chrome, I have yet to see a follow. What are you doing, buddy? Come on. But yeah, everyone who's popped in, thanks for coming by. Always appreciate it. Chrome is now following. That's what I'm talking about. No worries. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thursday night for some Hunt Showdown. If you like the Yeehaw and the zombies, absolutely stop on by. But otherwise, it's been good, and have a good one.